our legislators who are here, members of the media, and especially our firefighter community who's here with us. Today we take an important step forward in honoring and protecting the brave men and women who serve as Utah's firefighters. I want to express my deep appreciation to Representative Casey Snyder and Senator Mike McHale for championing this bill, as to every legislator who's taken part in support. And most importantly, I want to thank Utah's firefighters, the men and women who put their lives on the line to keep us safe. I'd now like to turn the podium over to Representative Casey Snyder to share more about this bill, and then I guess I'll let you announce. Where is Representative Snyder? I'll let you announce the rest of the program. So
yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone for coming. I want to again reiterate my gratitude to the governor, the speaker, and the president of the Senate. But most importantly, I want to express my gratitude to the men and women here in uniform. This would not have happened without all of you. Let's give them a round of applause. I've been thinking a lot of what to say today. The profession of firefighting is a funny one. It's one of maybe the few professions where we learn something when somebody else has a bad day. It's why we have the standard firefighting orders in wildland fire. It's why we're careful when we ventilate a house. It's even why we park the fire engine crooked on the freeway, much to the chagrin of the highway patrol. It's because we learned something when we lost somebody. And underpinning this bill is good data. It's scientific fact that the profession of firefighting causes cancer. But behind every number is a husband, or a wife, a friend, a brother, a sister in this profession. And I look around this room and I know that there isn't a man or woman in uniform that has not lost somebody to this terrible disease in this career. We do this bill because of that. But we pass this bill to honor them. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Snyder, thank you for including me on this bill. Representative Snyder talked about a bad day, and I talked about this on the Senate floor. I had a bad day. It was in June of 2018. Some of you heard the story. I was on the north end of Spanish Fork, and I was driving home for lunch, or I was going across town, and I saw large smoke clouds in the south end of town, and I thought that, I wonder where that is, and the closer I got, the more I realized that could be my farm. And by the time I realized that it probably was my farm, I jumped on. I couldn't get my son to answer. My son Landon, my oldest son, he started a campfire down in our trees. We had about 4 acres of cottonwoods. There was a spark that hit the cotton, and by the time he jumped out of the trees, the entire area was engulfed. By the time I got there, the paramedics were there, and my son was visibly shocked. He had singed face, and 4 different departments showed up for me. It was the first time I met Brent Jarvis from Spanish Fork. It was the first time I met Pat Carlson from Utah County. I had Spanish Fork showed up for me. I had Utah County show up for me. I had Mapleton that showed up for me. I had Salem that showed up for me. And I had Woodland Hills that showed up for me. That September in my community, then Senator Henderson and I, we both were in the legislature when our community was on fire and our mountains were engulfed. And one of the things I mentioned that will never leave my mind is watching the mayor of Woodland Hills cry as her community evacuated. Well, they evacuated, your people went in, and that's what I remember, and it never leave my mind. I know as we toured the fire, I met people from all over the country. I met the type 1 teams, and I met people from all over the country, and you saved my community. I think this is the least we can do. When Casey showed me the data, Representative Snyder, the leading cause of death for firemen is not fighting fires, it's cancer. The leading cause of death for firemen is cancer. And I think this is the least we can do. I'm really proud of the work we do. Just thank you all of you. I mean, this one hits near and dear to me. I have a soft spot in my heart because you guys showed up for me when I needed it most, and showed up for my family, and then you showed up for my community. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative Snyder and Senator McKell. Let me just announce the rest of the program. We'll hear from Chief Jeremy Kraft from Lehigh Fire Department, then from Dak Tidrow, the President of the Professional Firefighters of Utah. Will be followed by Speaker Schultz and then President Adam.
Thank you, Governor. I want to just start by thanking Representative Snyder, Senator McKell. This has been a journey. What an epic day for the firefighters in Utah. 2 years ago, one of my colleagues reached out and asked if I wanted to help with a cancer screening initiative. And at that time, we just lost a colleague, and of course I said yes. Little did I know that a year later, this early screening would save my life. A year ago, almost to this day, I was diagnosed with prostate and renal cancer that has since gotten into my lymph nodes. I currently am battling cancer, but because of early testing, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to have a good quality of life. And quite honestly, I want that for my colleagues, for my brothers and sisters in the fire service. When the bells ring, as Senator McKell said, we don't hesitate to run in. We'll answer any call without thinking about the danger. It's afterwards that we have to sit around and wonder, did we get cancer? What's my retirement look like? But this bill can give us peace of mind that we can continue to do what we love to do, and we'll be taken care of. We'll be able to take care of them. Yes, the risks are still there, but early detection means positive outcomes. And I just cannot thank this legislative body enough, my colleagues. This has been an amazing cooperative and collaborative effort to get the research and to bring this bill to where it's at today. Once again, thank you everybody. What an epic day for Utah.
Thank you. This has been a 21-year journey for me and many others. Collaborative effort between the legislature, past and current, and we can go all the way back to Senator Ed Main, kind of started the fire on this. Then his wife, Senator Karen Main, who all of us were scared of, right? And many others, Representative Jim Dunnigan, Casey Snyder, Senator McKell, Senator Kurt Bramble. And we've worked in conjunction with the Labor Commission, the Rocky Mountain Occupational Health Center, Dr. Hagman most notably and his team, and which is Comp Fund. There's been so many players that have had to work hard for many years, and we really hit the accelerator over the last 2 years with our work group down at the Fire and Rescue Academy to put all this together. And so we want to thank you, Governor, Senate President, and Speaker, for giving us and your legislators the latitude to help us do this. Thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor for me to be standing here today with real life, everyday heroes. Thank you for what you do for our communities. I think most everything that I could have said has already been said. So I think today my message is just going to be very simple. Thank you. Thank you to all you do. Thank you to the firefighters. Thank you for the sacrifices in your service to our state, to our community, to the people of Utah. Thank you. Representative Snyder and Representative McKell, thank you for your hard work on this. Before session started, Representative Snyder grabbed me and he says, I got a really important issue, Speaker. He said, we're going to work on it, we're going to get it passed. I've been working on this and we're going to lead the nation. He says, we all know that early prevention and early diagnosis of cancer saves lives and we have a better chance of battling that. He then went into the lead cause of firefighter deaths is from cancer. And I didn't truly understand that, but the smoke inhalation and what it does to your bodies as you're breathing in the smoke and different things. On behalf of the citizens of the state, you're putting your own lives at risk. To us here in the legislature, this is very minimal. We should have done this years ago. Having this program that leads the nation again in detecting cancer early and for early screening will help save lives. So thank you for all that you've done, and thank you for the service to the state of Utah.
I'd join the governor and Speaker Schultz in saying thank you, and especially again Representative Snyder, Senator McKell. You know, Representative Snyder said that he was short. I wanted to know that we kind of see things eye to eye, especially today that we're totally united in this effort. And it's really kind of exciting as I look around this room and I see intermixed with each other legislators, senators, House members, and firefighters. It's a beautiful sight for me, and Speaker Schultz said it right, we're standing among true heroes. You know, I look at the experiences in my life, been evacuated from my home when a fire blew across the east side of Bladen, and had to leave as firefighters came in, and I was leaving, and they were actually running toward the dangers we were leaving, trying to get away from it. I've had family members who have been in accidents. Most firefighters and young firefighters are EMTs. They come, they save lives, they take care of people, they do things that other people would not do. Boy, we admire you, we idolize you, we thank you for doing that. Today we get to do something special. They save lives. I couldn't be more excited about trying to do what they do for them, what they do for others, and try to save some of their lives. They save lives, we want to save yours. Thank you again, it's an honor to be here, and thank you for all that have been so much a part of this.
Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for passing this important piece of legislation that has been a long time coming. I know just about everything's been said. I'll just add just a couple quick things. For those who may not know what HB 65 does, it expands protections by adding scientifically linked cancers, creates a screening and treatment program for early detection, strengthens our commitment to those who serve, making Utah a leader in the nation in firefighter health and safety. And our true hope is that other states will copy us. That's what happens a lot in this country. People look at what Utah is doing, and then they do it for theirs. So not only are we trying to save Utah firefighters, but this effort, we hope, will get some national legs, and we want to make sure that that's the case. I can assure you that I will be sharing this with my colleagues, governors across the country, and asking them to do the same things in their states. You've already heard the why. We all have a different why for this. I have family members who are firefighters. I too have been evacuated from my home during a fire. I thought I lost my cousin in a wildfire for about an hour. We couldn't contact him, locate him, and so we feel these things personally. They're raw for all of us. And I just want to give a special shout out to Representative Snyder, who is one of you. Somebody who dons that uniform and runs into those dangerous spots and situations. And it's one of the reasons I love having a part-time legislature, because there are lots of reasons I love having part-time legislature. the thing I love most is that these are real people who have real jobs and real life experiences, and they bring those here. It may be a lot harder for any of us who have not put on that uniform, who have not fought a fire, to understand the dangers that come with that, to understand this cancer piece of it and why it's so important to you. But having somebody in the legislative body who has this life experience makes it that much more palatable and that much more powerful, and allows us to come to agreement to help people. So you'll see lots of examples of that during this legislative session, but this is one that definitely deserves highlighting. Again, we're proud of our firefighting community. We're grateful for all that you do, and thank you for being here. That concludes this session. We do have individual legislators and others who are happy to answer questions for the media. I'm sure we have some of our fire team as well, those who spoke Facebook and others who are willing to talk to the media as well. And I know we still have a couple bills to pass before the end of the session in 3 days, so take as long as you want, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks, everyone.